All right, Marq, I love it when you do the countdown.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is Anthony Marquez, better known as Kung Lao for Mortal Kombat. Make sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live. Be there. Us.
NerdCage Nation, are you ready for round number 7? What better movie that bleeds everything nerd culture than the 2010 cult classic Scott Pilgrim versus the World on Thursday, July 29th, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. in the West. So joining the NerdCage crew you know and love, including Mark Withers, myself, Joe, the Trollhammer, and voice actor extraordinaire Matthew Farden, we got a lineup louder than a sex bomb. Coming at you fast, Titan Goji from the Toku Titan cast. Once again, on the attack is Big Jack. From the depth of nerd hell comes Alex the Swell. More powerful than General Zod comes Nick and Laura from the Review Roulette Pod. And walking the movie walk, once again, Wes, Gabe, and Tommy from Real Talk.
Good day for a swell battle. And begin!
Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
NerdCage Nation, at long last, the streaming blockbuster hype continues once again as NerdCage Live gears up for another kick-ass watch party as we go into battle once again for the James Gunn Suicide Squad watch party on Thursday, August 19th, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Central and 6 p.m. in the West. And we have assembled a Task Force X squad of our own. We got NerdCage host Mark Withers, filmmaker extraordinaire Yoko Higuchi, the manga man himself, Brian from Monstrosities, Toku Titan cast leader Titan Goji brings the ruckus, voice actor supreme Matthew Farden, Chicago's finest Dion McGill of Off the Beaten Podcast, the well-traveled Wild Band, and the king and queen of watch parties, Nick and Laura of the Review Roulette Podcast. The squad has been assembled. Thursday, August 19th. Be there.
Greetings, citizens! You're now trapped in the nerd cage with your hosts Mark and Jay. We hope you have a smashing good time.
You're about to witness the strength of geek knowledge. Hello and welcome. That's right, you're trapped in NerdCage Live. This ain't just a reaction show, but a debate show and a live discussion on everything that makes people like you and I tick. So thank you for joining us tonight. Please hit that like button and subscribe. I'm your co-host Jay St. G, certified geek, 7 days a week, coming to you live from Syracuse, New York, and always among us, our moderator and Trollhammer, Joe from Fallen One Gaming, and always with me, the warrior from Wakanda, the fiend from Louisville, my man, Mark Withers. What's shaking?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Super excited to be here as usual. And yes, we just got the Emmy nominations. As usual, we like to make our predictions. I'm very excited to go ahead and talk about this. But first, Joe, who do we have in the chat tonight?
We have Paul Tackett, Scott Bannock, Shay Smithers, and Byron Kingsley, and Betty Ray's just entered the chat.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Marq, we have some big news to announce. We go ahead and tell everybody.
Guys, we are now on TikTok and Instagram as of today. So, yeah, check us out.
Yeah, so we're down with the cool people now who post videos on TikTok. We finally caved in.
We'll see how it goes.
So, yes, you know what? Let's just get right to it. So, yes, last year's Emmy predictions, I don't mean to brag, but I beat Marq last year by one. By one. Maybe he'll get his revenge. And I think he will this year because there's a lot of stuff in here that I don't know that I'm kind of randomly picking. But we'll see. So that being said, Joe, our moderator, will field all the questions and he will field all the Emmy nominations. We're going to go down all the categories, and we're not going to go through all the nominations. We're just going to go through the categories, and Marq and I will make our picks, and Joe is welcome to make his pick as well. So, Joe, where are we starting at?
First category is Outstanding Drama Series.
The Boys! I'm saying this right here, right now. I'm going to die on this hill. The Boys is going to win. No doubt, no cap. Marq, what you got?
Man, see, all right, so there's a lot of great shows here. You know, The Boys, Bridgerton, The Crown, Mandalorian, Lovecraft Country, Pose, Handmaid's Tale, and This Is Us. I've seen almost all of these, and it's going to be tough for me to pick, to avoid picking the one that I like best versus the one that I think is going to win, right? So what I think is probably going to win is probably going to be either The Boys or The Crown. What I would like to win is Lovecraft Country, because that was just brilliant from beginning to end. I think the effects in it are fantastic. Jonathan Majors was incredible in it. Really, the entire cast was awesome, and I think it's worthy of a win. But the one that I really think honestly is going to win this is probably going to be The Crown.
Okay, so we got The Boys versus The Crown. Joe, do you have a pick on any of these shows?
Personal preference puts The Boys at the top for me.
Yeah, boy!
If I go on popular opinion, I may have to swing The Mandalorian in this.
Yeah, true. True. And that has Giancarlo Esposito in it. And you know how I feel about him, man.
I know.
Brings everything way up.
We will get to that category, but we'll go right in the order according to entertainmentweekly.com. Joe, what's the next one?
Next category is Outstanding Comedy Series.
All right, I got Cobra Kai winning, no doubt. Marq, what do you got?
I am going to go with, I honestly think it's going to be Kaminsky Method. Okay. It's a really great show, but I think mainly because it has two, legends in it, basically. It has Alan Arkin and Michael Douglas in it. And Alan Arkin recently passed away, I believe. So I think it has a really good chance of winning. The one that I really think deserves an honest chance, though, is Hacks. And that's a show that nobody's talking about, but it's fantastic. I mean, Jean Smart is my new favorite actress. She's incredible. But yeah, I really think it's probably going to be Kaminsky Method.
Hey, yo, I see Scott back in the chat. He's riding the boys wave with me. Yeah, we're rocking this shit hard tonight.
Yeah, and, I'm really surprised that Emily in Paris is in this category. Yeah. Because especially after the whole Golden Globes fiasco, I don't know if you heard about that, but so to give you some backstory on that, so they were up for a Golden Globe, right? And actually, it wasn't even that they were up for a Golden Globe; they were lobbying for a Golden Globe, and so the producers of the show actually flew all of the people who vote on the Golden Globe, and it's only a body of 60 people, but they flew them all to Paris, gave them an all expense paid trip, gave them gifts and all this stuff like that. And then suddenly they're nominated when it was a show that nobody really loved, or was really ever really talking about. And it just looked really suspicious. And so that sort of came out recently. And so I'm really surprised that it's here. You know what I mean? Especially after that.
Also, I see Ian Lewis in the chat talking watch party for Dune. We will talk about that later. We will do one. We just don't know when. We're going to work out the logistics. But yes, there is a demand for it. So thanks. Joe, what do we got next?
Next category is Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series.
Okay, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going with Jonathan Majors' Lovecraft Country. What do you got, Marq?
Same.
Oh,
I don't see
we
anybody
agree.
beating him. I don't see anybody beating him this year.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
So I'm just making these notes. I'm just marking this down so when we get the results. All right. Joe, do you got a pick for that or no? It's okay if you don't, because I know it's a lot.
Yeah, it's okay if you don't.
Not in this category, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
All
What we got next?
Next is the Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series.
Okay. I have not watched this show, but I've heard so many things, and I low-key kind of have a crush on this woman, but I believe Elizabeth Moss, The Handmaid's Tale, is going to win.
I think it's going to be between her and Olivia Colman in The Crown. Honestly, she's doing an amazing job playing Queen Elizabeth, and she's sort of been the awards favorite for the past couple of years. So I think she has a really good chance. That said, Elizabeth Moss's performance in The Handmaid's Tale has just been dynamite from the very beginning of the show, and people are finally starting to recognize really how talented she is. So I think she has an excellent chance of winning. So I'm probably going to go with her, Elizabeth Moss. Okay.
Well, once again, we agree. All right. Joe, got any picks or just want to go to the next one?
You can go to the next one because I don't know these shows.
Let's see. What did Betty say in the chat there? Says every one of those are outstanding. I want Lovecraft to win since it's not coming back. Yeah, that's a good. Betty Race makes a good point though, because this is like a repeat of last year. You know how last year Watchmen won a bunch, and it's not getting a second season. And Lovecraft Country, weird coincidence, not getting a second season, but has the most nominations among the whole entire Emmys. It's nuts.
I honestly think that this is a ploy, like with HBO, where they'll submit a show as a series without announcing hey, it's really a limited series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think deep down we all knew that Watchmen was going to be a limited series. There's not very far you can go after that finale, but they never said that it was limited until after the Emmy nominations. And here, Lovecraft Country is kind of the same thing. You could do a season 2 if you really wanted to, but I don't think that the plan ever was for there to be more than one season. I just think that's HBO Max's MO.
Yeah, and looks like we got a bet here. It says Ian says if I lose, I have to wear a Heat hat. All right, Joe, what we got next?
All right, next is Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series.
All right, I'm ready to trigger Marq, but honest to God, Michael K. Williams' Lovecraft Country is going to win.
Yeah, see, this is a tough one too. This is a really hard one. I would pick Giancarlo Esposito for The Mandalorian, and this was one where he really got to show a little bit of range. But we're getting into that territory of me picking my favorite versus who I think's going to win, and they always snubbed him. They always let him get the nomination, but then he doesn't win it. So I think that he probably won't win this.
Wow.
I think it's probably going to be, I would say Bradley Whitford in The Handmaid's Tale. I think it's going to be him.
Before we even start, I thought for sure you're going with your favorite actor. Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Wow, I'm shocked. I'm sorry, I am.
I gotta look at the history. I gotta look at every time he's been nominated, how many times he's actually lost. And I think that it would be very weird for him to be nominated for all these other roles which were bigger parts and more expressive parts, and then for him to win in like for this character. Now, if he did win, I would be super happy about it. But
so will every
honestly,
goddamn Star Wars fan. Just saying.
Yeah, I think they have something against Star Wars, so they probably won't.
It's not Star Wars isn't cinema, so.
They may have something against
Listen to Scorsese here.
All right, Joe, what we got next?
All right, next is Best Supporting Actress in a Drama Series.
All right, listen. I'm going with Gillian Anderson. I'm an X-Files fan. I never watched The Crown. I want her to win, and I haven't seen enough of the other. I see what's her name from Lovecraft Country is going to win, but I'm going Gillian Anderson on this one. Mark, what do you got?
Man, this is a tough category, man. You've got Helena Bonham Carter in The Crown. You've got Anjanou Ellis for Lovecraft Country. You've got Samira Wiley. You've got Ann Dowd. Anybody who's watched The Handmaid's Tale, that's Aunt Lydia. Like, she's amazing. Like, she is incredible. Like, I kind of think that she might have a shot, but I really think it's probably going to be Helena Bonham Carter.
Okay, so we're going with the same TV show but different actors.
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is what divided us last time. Remember, you lost because you didn't listen to me on Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
Yeah, you're right.
This could be
right.
the tiebreaker.
I didn't give him a fair shake.
All
right, Joe, what we got next?
Well, first let me tell you that Shay is out for your blood today, because he said he changed the rules and he said, no, if you lose, Jay, you got to do an entire week-long marathon of Star Wars.
No, I'll go with
now
the
you
Heat
can't
hat.
Lose.
Because listen, I can lie about
You got to
Star
start
Wars.
with the prequels too.
No. You guys won't ever know if I watch Star Wars. If I wear a Heat hat, I'll wear it on camera, and you guys will all know. Just saying. So,
it's not as hard as you think. I just binged it the other day. The whole series is 50+.
Are you guys going to pull a Clockwork Orange on me and make me watch all the movies?
You'll need it. You'll definitely need it.
All right. Next category is Best Lead Actor in a Comedy Series.
Okay. This one was tough for me because I haven't watched any of these shows. I'm just going based on what my friends have told me. I'm going with William H. Macy for Shameless.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably out of the ones that I have I have watched all these shows, but I haven't watched like this current season. So I don't really know how to gauge any of their performances except for Michael Douglas. That's the only one that I know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Michael Douglas just because that's the only one that I've watched this season.
Yeah, like so we're both in the same boat. Like we haven't, so we're kind of like, throwing our guesses out there. All right, Joe, what we got next?
Best Lead Actress in a Comedy Series.
Oh, see, this one I'm shot in the dark. I really don't know, and I'm gonna go with Kaylee Koku for the flight attendant. I'm serious. I don't know any of these. I'm just going with her. She's the only one on this list that I'm familiar with. I should probably go with Jean Smart, but hey, let's root for the under. I'm going to go with Kaylee.
That's what I'm going with, Jean Smart.
Okay.
For sure. That's an easy one for me. Okay.
All right, next.
What's next?
Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series.
Oh, see, this one's tough because shot in the dark here, man. I don't know. I'm just gonna close my eyes and pick. I'm gonna go with Brett Goldstein for Ted Lasso. I really don't know. I'm just going.
I don't know. I don't watch any of these shows. Well, Paul Reiser for Kaminsky Method. I'll pick him.
Oh, scratch that. Never mind. I got Paul Reiser. Never mind.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
All right. Carl Clemens Hopkins for Hacks.
I'm changing mine to Paul Reiser, Kaminsky Method.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Paul Reiser.
Okay, so we both agree on that one. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I had the wrong one highlighted. All right, what we got next?
Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series.
Again, I don't know, but I'm gonna go with Rosie Perez for the flight attendant.
I'm gonna go with Hannah Einbinder for Hacks.
Yep.
That's who I'm picking.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we're moving right along. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Go ahead, Joe. This is a good one.
Outstanding limited series.
I hope Yoko Higuchi's watching this right now. I'm going based on what all my friends and what John Campy and all the buzz around the world. I'm going with Queen's Gambit.
That is a very good pick. This is probably the hardest category because I've seen all of these, and I'll just shout them all out because, I just realized that the audience can't see the screen and there's only a few of them. So Mayor of Easttown, I May Destroy You, WandaVision, Queen's Gambit, The Underground Railroad. Now, 3 of these, Mayor of Easttown, WandaVision, and The Queen's Gambit, are probably 3 of my favorite TV shows for the entire year. It's tough for me. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say Mayor of Easttown.
Wow, I thought for sure you were gonna pick WandaVision.
Again, this is not about what we like the best.
Yeah.
This is what we think's gonna win, and
Yeah,
I don't
like
think
I said,
that
I'm going. Like I said,
don't
all
see
the
an
buzz on
MCU show
Twitter.
winning.
All I heard was the Queen's Gambit everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the one that's gonna win.
Yeah, I say Mayor of Easttown because Kate Winslet stars in it. Gene Smart. It's got Evan Peters. It's an all-star cast. The story is just really poignant, really powerful, well written. It did get really good reviews. It didn't get a lot of heat from actual fans, but I think that it might be one of those where after it wins, then it becomes popular.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that that's how it's going to go.
Okay. Man, I'm loving this. So what we got next? Or actually, Joe, have you watched the shows? What would be your pick?
Well, the only one I've really watched is WandaVision, so
Okay.
I kind of have to have bias in it.
Okay. What we got next?
Next is the best lead actor in a limited series or movie.
Okay. Again, I mean, other than WandaVision, I really don't know any of these other shows, but I'm going based on the name. I'm picking Ewan McGregor for Halston.
Okay. I am going to go, and I'm going to go against what I just said. So I said that I don't see an MCU movie, an MCU show winning anything. Paul Bettany in WandaVision.
Okay.
Outstanding, dude.
Okay. Y'all heard it here?
I think it's going to be him.
But here's the thing. Even in the Oscars, Marvel hasn't won anything, so I'd be shocked if Marvel wins an Emmy before they even won an Oscar. So that's why, in good faith, I'm going with Ewan McGregor.
Well, I would say that the actors and actresses may win Emmys before the shows themselves do.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, very good point, Joe. Very good point. Okay. What we got next?
Next one is outstanding lead actress in a limited series or movie.
Okay, Yoko, my man, if you are watching, I'm going with your future wife, Anya Taylor-Joy, for the Queen's Gambit.
I am in agreement with you on this.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. We're moving right along. What we got next?
All right. Best supporting actor in a limited series or.
Oh no, I think. We got actor next, and then okay.
Actress.
Is it actress
actor
or
actress?
Oh, if I wrote it down as actor, it's probably
okay. We can do that
Okay,
one
so I think it's actress and then actor because that's what I got in front of me. If we're going with actress first, again, I haven't seen any of these shows, but I'm gonna go with Moses Ingram for the Queen's Gambit. Just the name Queen's Gambit. I'm going in good faith. I'm going with Queen's Gambit. Moses Ingram.
Okay. Am I in the wrong spot here? Okay, yeah, actress. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Kathryn Hahn, WandaVision.
You're not going with Gene Smart?
Dude, it's a tough call. It's a tough call because she was really good in Mayor of Easttown too. The thing about Jean Smart is she can transform herself into anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Physically, she can just change. And she did that for that role. But man, Kathryn Hahn as Agatha Harkness, there's I don't think there's really any competition.
All right. So you got 2 for WandaVision so far. All right, so Joe, next one.
All right, next one we'll do the best supporting actor.
Yep.
in a limited series of movies.
Again, I'm rolling with Queen's Gambit just based on the buzz. So I'm going with Thomas Brody Sangster for Queen's Gambit.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Evan Peters, Mayor of Easttown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Evan Peters is good. Yeah. Okay. Man, I have a feeling Mark's gonna win this one. You know what?
Maybe.
I would gladly
category.
have Mark win. If the boys wins Outstanding Series, I don't care how many of Mark's picks wins. Just saying. Okay, what we got next, Joe?
All right, next is Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series.
Okay, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going with my man Courtney B. Vance for Lovecraft Country because he's good in everything. And just saying he's a lucky man because he's married to Angela Bassett as well. What do you got?
Facts. Yeah. See, this is a tough one because I want to go with Courtney B. Vance, but I can't fade Carl Weathers in The Mandalorian. Come on, man. Action Jackson.
Dude, I love Carl Weathers, but I am not picking a Star Wars and an Emmy in the Emmy. No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. No, I honestly, it's a tough one. I'm gonna say Courtney B. Vance because
wow. Okay, so we agree.
In Lovecraft Country, he had more opportunities to emote. There was a lot more to do. Like he did give the overall more powerful performance. So I think he's gonna win it.
Okay.
The love for Don Cheadle.
It was like a 2-second. He was like in there for like not even a full episode. It was like one scene. Are you sure
it's
you
funny
want to give up the shoot?
Ian in the chat was like, yeah, it's like 48 seconds that he was in it.
Yeah. That would be awesome if he did. That'd be like
I'd be shocked.
I'd be happy if he won that.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it because I like Don Cheadle and I love War Machine, so I wouldn't be mad at it, but I'd be scratching my head for sure.
The irony is that he has his own, he has a TV show that he stars in called Black Monday, and he's not nominated for that at all.
He's nominated
but he's nominated for half
a
a scene in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Who knows what these people were thinking when they put these nominations together?
I think they went by show popularity and not by actual performance, to be honest.
Right. Or, maybe their friends worked on these shows or something like that. Oh, we'll put this show on. All
right, Joe, what we got next?
We got best outstanding guest actress in a drama series.
Okay, I'm going with Alexis Bledel for Handmaid's Tale. That was an easy one. Easy one.
That's a good pick. I would say out of these, I'm gonna go with Claire Foy for The Crown. She plays like a younger Queen Elizabeth.
Gotcha.
She's brilliant in it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch some of these shows.
Yeah.
I think that's the one good thing about the Emmys. Not so much the ceremony, but if there's shows that you missed, you can go back and watch them, whether on Netflix, HBO Max, and so on and so forth, or Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I'm binging Titans right now, so it's going to be tough.
What are you binging?
Titans, because it's coming back in 2 weeks.
Oh, God. Joe, what do you think of Titans? Real quick, before we move on. Joe, what do you think of Titans?
It's a hell of a lot darker than I thought it was going to be.
I told you! It's awesome!
Yeah. It's the best iteration of Robin that we've seen, right?
Thank you. No disrespect to Burt Ward. He was great. Chris O'Donnell was just in a bad movie. But, I got handed to Karen, what's his name? I don't remember the actor's name, but the one that plays Robin in Nightwing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guys, so I was the best. You're right. Best Robin I've ever seen in my life, dude.
I agree.
They're not on this list.
Right, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, remember, Titans was away for 2 years because remember, the DC app went bankrupt and then the pandemic happened, so that's why Titans. Maybe next year, maybe we'll.
Maybe next year.
Maybe. All right.
And next is outstanding guest actor in a comedy series.
I'm going based on the name. I'm going with Morgan Freeman for The Kominsky Method, just on the name.
How can you go against Morgan Freeman anyway?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He's going to win. There's no question.
Okay, cool. So we agree again. Next one.
How about outstanding guest actress in a comedy series?
Again, wild guess. I'm closing my eyes and picking. I'm going to go with Yvette Nicole Brown for a Black Lady Sketch Show. I really don't know. I don't know. I'm just guessing on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any of these other ones except for Hacks, so I'm gonna go with Hacks.
Okay.
And yeah, that's my only option.
That is it. That's all. So there we go. So I'm gonna save this on my computer. So when the results come in, we'll see who wins.
It'll be a repeat, of last year where Schitt's Creek isn't even nominated for anything because the show's over. But that's what happened last year, right? We made all these informed picks, and then Schitt's Creek just won everything. Everything. We were like, we didn't pick it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get to the next segment of this. Wow, we busted that out in a half hour, man. So awesome.
Yeah. Well, here's a question. I mean, I know the chat has it out for you, Jay. If you lose, what happens if Marq loses?
I don't know. I'll go. We'll think of something. I'll go easy on Marq because you know what? If
watch
Marq loses,
sports or something.
If Marq loses, that'll be 2 years in a row.
Godzilla series.
It'll be 2 years. If Marq loses, that's 2 years.
I'd have to watch Godzilla versus Kong in a loop or something for 24 hours.
Okay, I'll think of something. Godzilla related, but I'm not gonna torture Marq. Not to mention it'll be my second year in a row winning. That's good enough for me. But maybe Marq will have to watch a Godzilla movie or something that he hasn't seen that I've been put.
Yeah, pick a good one like Shin Godzilla or something like that.
Yes,
yeah.
there we go. All
right.
Okay, actually, before we go on to our next segment of the show, where we're gonna talk our top 5 movies remaining for 2021. Since you mentioned Shin Godzilla, I just want to point out real quick, on Wednesday the 28th, I'll be on Yoko Higuchi's channel for the Shin Godzilla watch party. Again, Yoko Higuchi was a production assistant in the movie. So we get to hear his perspective watching the film with him, and I'm lucky to be a part of it along with the Review Roulette podcast, Titan Goji, D-Man 1954, and a few others. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be Wednesday at 9 o'clock on the 28th. Then the next day will be, in case you missed a promo, our Scott Pilgrim versus the World watch party is next week. So we hope you all hang out with us. That's going to start at 9 o'clock because our friends in the West Coast, as well as the guys from Real Talk, are going to be joining us. So we want to start a little bit later at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Please be there for that. That should be a blast. For those who don't know, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is readily available on Netflix. So, of course, if you missed a promo already, again, on the 19th of August will be the Suicide Squad watch party. Again, 9 o'clock for our West Coast friends can be a part of this watch party. That should be fun. There's been really good buzz of the Suicide Squad. Obviously, we're gonna be watching via HBO Max. So, yes. Figure I'd do some shameless plugs, and then Marq, go ahead, plug in the stuff that we just dropped today.
Trying to remember what we dropped today.
Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, you go ahead and drop it because my mind's kind of mush right now.
Okay, so again, we are on Instagram now. So NerdCage, Instagram.com/NerdCage Live, and we're on TikTok. TikTok.com/NerdCage Live. So look out for exclusive clips, 30-second rapid reviews, and so on and so forth on those platforms. And of course, the NerdCage Live Facebook discussion group has been popping. Please join. Link is in the description. Every day that chat is popping every day. So please check that out. If you haven't, all are welcome. And now that we promote our material, we let other content creators promote their material, and we have discussions and so on and so forth. Please check that out. So, that being said, we are basically halfway through 2021, and there are some movies that we are excited about. So all three of us have our top 5 most anticipated movies remaining in 2021, plus an honorable mention. So that being said, Marq, I'm going to give you the floor, man. Start with your honorable mention as far as the top 5 movies most anticipated for 2021.
Okay, so my honorable mention is Don't Breathe 2 with Stephen Lang. I was a big fan of the first movie, which I didn't see right away. Like I found it on cable, I guess you could say. I'm a cord cutter, but I still see some cable channels, and I just happened to come across it, and I love that movie. And so I'm really excited for the sequel, and I love, just the revenge aspect of it, just from what I can tell in the trailer. I just think it's going to be awesome, and so that's my honorable mention.
All right. Actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't like the first one, so I cannot say I'm super excited for this. But for the sake of the channel, I'll probably go see it so we can do a review on it or something. Well, I'm not too big on it. Joe, any thoughts on Don't Breathe 2?
I did like the first one. I'm interested in seeing the second one. I don't know if I put it on my list right now. Of course, Jay knows I had a ton of honorable mentions. It was hard to pick from. So yeah, but I would like to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Marq. So starting with your number 5.
All right. My number 5 is Top Gun Maverick. Now, when we did our look back episode on the original Top Gun, I had never seen it before, right? I never watched it before. I actively avoided it for 30 years. I can't say that I fell in love with it, but I did love all of the aerial like fight scenes, all the dog fights and all the stuff with the jets really impressed me. And I just there's just something about like a sequel that happens many years after the original that I just find intriguing. I want to know what happens to Maverick. I want to know like what his life is like. And, he's got, this has Goose's son in it, like I want to see like, okay, what is that dynamic like? Does he blame him for his father's death and like that kind of thing? And so that's why it's number 5 on my list.
So funny. As soon as you mentioned, as soon as I saw that on your list, I'm like, I'm sure the look back's got 90% to do with this.
For sure.
All right.
And the trailer was cool, man. I gotta say, the trailer was a lot of fun.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I'm excited for it too. I'm just wondering how they're gonna surpass the first one as the iconic movie as it is. But we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely gonna. I plan on seeing it. Joe, you have any thoughts on?
I plan on seeing it too. I'm just nervous about how much time has passed since the first one. Usually, when this much time passes, it's kind of hard to keep together the same feeling you had from the first one.
Yeah.
Right.
Very well said. All right, what you got for number 4?
Number 4, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So I am a comic book nerd, as many people know, and I won't say that I grew up reading Master of Kung Fu, but it was like one of my earliest comic books. Like I actually was into that lore, like in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. It's really exciting to see a live action version of Shang-Chi after all these years. I think that just the fact that the MCU is delving into martial arts in general is going to be pretty sick. Plus the Abominations in it. Yeah. I think that this is going to be pretty cool. And we finally get like the actual Mandarin, not the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. And so number 4 for me.
Listen, among all the MCU projects coming up, this is the one I'm most excited for, more than the Eternals, more than Spider-Man. And yes, again, I'm going to reiterate, I hated Black Widow, but that doesn't ruin the excitement I have for this movie because I'm a martial arts guy. I love martial arts action. And the fact that they got the actor from Creed 2, Victor Drago, is one of the villains in this movie, as well as, like you just mentioned, the Abomination, and it just has that Mortal Kombat stylized feeling. I'm excited for it. And again, the Marvel Cinematic, the MCU, these movies come out of like an assembly line, but this one is different. This is different from anything they've ever done, and I'm excited for it. Joe, what are your thoughts on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings?
The trailer sold me on this. I really want to see it after seeing that trailer. I didn't really know what the Ten Rings were in the comics. I never actually read it. But the only thing that I knew about it was loosely based on the terrorist organizations from like the Iron Man movies. You know what I mean? That's about the only connection I drew to it. But once I saw that trailer, I was sold.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah. All right, Marq, what is your number 3?
Number 3, The King's Man. So, number 1, first of all, Matthew Vaughn directing. He's one of my favorite directors and has been ever since X-Men First Class. He has a style that bodes well for pairs well with like spy thrillers and like period pieces and things like that. And I'm a big fan of the first Kingsman movie. The second one, not so much, but I'm intrigued about the origin of the Kingsman service, and this is set in, I guess World War I Europe. Yep. And so, that is enough to pull me in, but also, it's starring Ralph Fiennes, amazing actor.
Yes.
He's good. You've got Gemma Arterton in there. You've got, what's the guy's name from, I can't remember his name, but there's a very famous actor that's playing Rasputin. Yeah. The cast is just stellar, and you've got Jaimin Hunsu in there. The fight scenes look awesome. The stunts look great. The effects look great. I'm all in for this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I love the first Kingsman movie. I shouldn't say I hate the second one, but the second one was a huge letdown.
I hated the second one.
Letdown. But this I'm excited for. Again, I'm a sucker for World War I. And this looks way better than the second Kingsman movie. So I'm very excited for this. I will definitely be there opening night for sure. Joe, any thought? Have you seen the Kingsman movies?
I haven't seen any of them, so I can't even weigh in on it.
Okay,
the first one is fantastic.
Yeah. You should. Well, this is a prequel, so you'll be fine if you go see it. But I highly recommend watch the first Kingsman movie, directed by Matthew Vaughn. It is fantastic. You can skip the second one. Yeah. All right, and then what we got for your number 2?
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yep, this is like basically on everybody's list, even though we haven't gotten no trailer or nothing yet, but the rumors are flying non-stop.
Yeah, I mean, we still don't have like an official like plot outline, right? We just have like the rumors and like the things that like we think that the movie is going to be about, especially like now that we've got like Kang in the MCU and they've introduced like the actual multiverse and things branching off from the sacred timeline. I think that that's going to be a big part of Spider-Man. It may not be, but all signs point to that, especially now that we know that Alfred Molina is coming back as Doc Ock from the old school Spider-Man. I think that, and Jamie Foxx is coming back as like the old school Electro. Like the fact that they're doing that kind of implies that, we're talking multiverse. And I just think it's going to be, I think they're going to be doing some new and interesting, very exciting things in this movie, and hopefully we get multiple Spider-Man like we did in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
I think that if that rumor's true, then I might have to bump that one up to my number 1.
All right, Joe, I know this was on your list. Your thoughts on Spider-Man: No Way Home?
The rumor mill has been spinning out of control for so long with this movie. It kind of makes me wonder what came first, the leaks or the rumors. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the studio could see the rumors and go, "Oh, that's a really good idea. Let's put that in." You know what I mean?
And not to mention, like all the actors are like being like they're told not to say anything, but they've been photographed on set and like, oh my god. Like,
yeah, it's almost undeniable.
I say that when Shang-Chi comes out, we are getting a trailer. No doubt in my mind. Shang-Chi, we're getting Spider-Man trailer. There's no way we're gonna wait any longer than that.
Yeah, I agree.
And then finally, Marq, number 1, and we can all go chime in on this.
Everybody knows what my number 1 is. It's been my number 1 since the beginning of the year. Denis Villeneuve's Dune. We watched that trailer earlier today.
Yes!
I mean, how could it not be my number 1, dude? Like, that movie is going to be so epic. I can't wait for it, man. And we can chop it up in detail about why that movie's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I hadn't even finished the trailer before putting it up on our Facebook. Mm-hmm. I was like, it was that good. I only saw a couple seconds of it in the beginning, and I was like, nope, that's going up right now.
Yeah,
dude, this.
I mean, it's even got like some. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
This movie can't fail. Like so much is riding on this movie.
Yeah, well, yeah, so much is riding on it, but I can't picture a scenario where it flops. Like, there's just too many big stars in it that are actually good actors.
Yeah.
They've got phenomenal special effects going on in this movie. If the trailers are any indication of what we're gonna get, the story itself is amazing. So, go ahead. What?
I'm very interested to see what they do with the Guild Navigator. You know, the alien in the tank.
Yeah.
That's like a big callback. You know,
dude. I mean, I'm speechless just thinking about like how good that trailer was.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like that was just amazing. So,
yeah, that was really
that's my
good.
number one
And
for sure.
this has a huge science fiction fan base, and like everyone's gonna be coming out of the woodwork to see this. And I might as well say it right here, right now. Yes, we will do a watch party. We've come to the decision. We will. We just don't know when and what time. Just because we know it's a long movie. And I know I kind of have in my back of my mind who I want to guest with us because there's people who've approached me already. We will do a watch party. I just want to make it work for everybody because I know this is going to be a long, epic movie. We're going to ride this hard because we're going to do a full spoiler discussion. We're going to do a rapid review. We're going to ride the Dune wave hard, and we are excited.
Yep.
So stay tuned. When we're ready to make an announcement, everybody, we'll make an official announcement. We just don't know the logistics of it yet, but there will be a lot of Dune coverage coming your way when October rolls around. Promise.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's Mark's number one. So I guess I will give my list real quick because we already covered a couple of them. So my honorable mention, which I'm surprised none of you guys mentioned. My honorable mention is Halloween Kills.
Okay.
I hope it's good. Because in the back of my mind,
I didn't make your list, Jay.
just in the back of my mind, I'm prepared. If this movie sucks, I'm kind of prepared for it, but I hope it doesn't. Just because I remember being excited for other Halloween sequels in the past and being let down. However, Halloween 2018, probably my second favorite among the whole franchise next to the first one. So
yeah, mine too.
This does look promising. Fingers crossed it's actually good. So my number 5 we already talked about is going to be Spider-Man 3 is my number 5.
Okay.
My number 4 we already talked about. Shang-Chi. Again, this is the Marvel movie I'm excited for the most.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3, which just recently was officially announced. We knew it was coming. We haven't got a trailer, but here's your first image. My number 3 is the Injustice cartoon, the Injustice DC animated movie.
Okay.
I'm excited. Supposedly the trailer is coming with the release of Batman The Long Halloween Part 2. Part 1 was amazing, by the way, for those who haven't seen it. I'm excited for Part 2, but I'm way more excited for Injustice. It's one of my favorite comic lines ever. It's one of my favorite video games ever made. I'm very excited for this. The only thing that's kind of heartbreaking for me, no Kevin Conroy as Batman. That was a huge letdown, but I'm not going to let that take away. I'm stoked for Injustice. Listen, say what you want about DC movies in general, but where DC dominates is the animation movies is where they dominate. And I expect this to be up there as good as like Batman and the Red Hood and Justice League Apocalypse War. I'm saying Injustice is going to be among the greats among the DC animated universe, man. What are you guys' thoughts of Injustice?
I'm excited for it, man. I didn't, I'm not a gamer, so I never played the games. Sorry. But I read the comics. I read, both Volume 1 and Volume 2. Both. That is currently my favorite DC story arc, like modern story arc. Yeah. Like, there are other comic books that I like, comic book titles that I like better from Independence. But as far as like DC and like major titles, that is my favorite one. I mean, it's just, seeing a world where Superman just kind of just dominates the entire planet, you know what I mean? And everybody kind of has to bow to his will. It's just like, it's amazing. And Volume 2 is like pretty good too, so I'm hyped for it. If it's even half as good as the comic series, then I'm all in.
And not to mention, I hope I don't piss off any Superman fans, but who knew how intriguing Superman is as a bad guy? When he's the most strongest being in the universe is our greatest threat, and he's become a dictator. man, it's really, really intriguing. I mean, I know there are a lot of naysayers, Superman naysayers out there, but man, when he's a bad guy, it's a whole new ball game, dude.
Right.
Joe, you and I have played the Injustice games hardcore. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was wondering, is this going to be more based on the comic story arc, or does NetherRealm have your hands in this at all?
The game came out first, but the comics kind of like broadened it.
Right.
And this is basically based on the comics, basically. But the comics are based on the game. But the comics.
I was going to say, if they had like NetherRealm as a consultant, that could be amazing. Just to kind of follow the story arc from the game, you know.
Well,
but
yeah, the guy who did the story arc is I guess part of the same crew. Not to mention, it's the same producer as Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge. Same producer. Yeah. Some of the same. I think it's the same director as Apocalypse War. I think. Like it's got, like it's very, very promising. Based on this lineup, it's all the familiar DC animation people are behind this movie. I have the utmost faith this movie's going to be really, really good. So yes. Now my number 2, keeping it in the animation realm. My number 2 is Mortal Kombat Battle of the Realms. Listen, I was very, very, very sorely disappointed with the Mortal Kombat movie. Marq warned me. All the signs were Marq warned me. I didn't listen. I'm sorry, I should have listened to you, Marq. But when Scorpion's Revenge came out last year, and I bought the movie, I gave the code to Marq. I'm like, Marq, you gotta watch this. And we were all on board. And I will say this to this day. Next to the 1995 movie, the best Mortal Kombat media we've gotten is Scorpion's Revenge. And I honestly did not think we were going to get a sequel because I didn't know there was going to be enough demand. I didn't know if it was going to be like a hit. I was praying to the elder gods that there would be a sequel to this. I didn't think they were going to. And then all of a sudden, just a few weeks ago, Mortal Kombat Battle of the Realms trailer dropped. And I'm like, thank God, because they need to make up for the Mortal Kombat movie from 2021. This, and no doubt, I hope, even if it's not as good as Scorpion's Revenge, even if it's half as good as Scorpion's Revenge, that is a win in my book. Marq, what are your thoughts on Battle of the Realms?
So I'm not super excited to see it. I definitely wouldn't put it in like my top 5, but you know, I enjoyed Scorpion's Revenge a lot. I'm just not, you know, when it comes to like Mortal Kombat adaptations, I'm just incredibly skeptical. You know what I mean? Like they have not really gotten it right since 1995. And even that, I was still I loved it at the time, but at the time, you know what I mean? But looking back on it, there's still some things that like they could have done better even with that. Yeah. Right? So, like, you know, I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. I think it will be good, but I'm tempering my expectations for sure.
Fair enough, and I can't blame you given what happened to us earlier in the year. Joe, I know you got stuff to say on this one.
I'm excited for this. I want to see it, but I kind of agree with Marq a little bit that I'm kind of nervous. I mean, yes, Scorpion's Revenge was amazing. I'll give it that. But can lightning strike twice with it? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
I'm hopeful. I mean, the trailer looked pretty damn good. I like the fact. Here's the thing. And we can move on. But I like the fact that we're finally getting a proper second tournament. Let me explain. The first Mortal Kombat movie was basically the first tournament, and they kind of snuck in elements of Mortal Kombat 2, the game, in there when Shang Tsung kidnaps Sonya and they go to Outworld. They kind of like grouped in Mortal Kombat 2 in there shamelessly, and then they went right into the invasion at the end of the movie, which was Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which was Mortal Kombat 3. And every iteration of Mortal Kombat in the 2021 movie didn't give us that. We've never gotten a proper Mortal Kombat 2, the game, the second tournament, in live media. This one is finally giving us that. And that's what colored me excited, because I love Mortal Kombat 2 is my all-time favorite Mortal Kombat, and it's never been properly adapted. The second tournament held in Outworld, hosted by Shao Kahn. We're getting that in this movie.
Yeah.
So Yes.
I mean, we haven't really had a tournament per se in a movie since '95, to be honest.
Yeah, but the Scorpion's Revenge was the first tournament, but they kind of made it like Hunger Games style. But it was the first tournament. Now we're getting the second tournament in Outworld. So I hope this is good. You know, we'll definitely cover this movie when it drops for sure. We'll, you know, heavily cover it. Finally, my number one, to no surprise if you know me, No Time to Die. The movie that's been cursed by the pandemic, the movie that's had postponed the longest. Oh my God, I am very excited. I'm a diehard James Bond fan. I remember my heart was broken when it was the first movie to get postponed by the pandemic. My heart was broken. And I feel like this movie's been cursed. On top of that, we know this is Daniel Craig's last outing as Bond. If I'm being self-centered, I hope he continues, but I know he's not going to. On top of that, Amazon just bought 007. Who knows what's going to happen after this? This very well could be the last true 007 movie. And when you got Rami Malek as the villain, this is the most anticipated movie of 2021, period. I'm going to be there opening night. I'm hoping my dad, if I can convince my dad to go with me, he's got some health issues. I don't know if he'll be able to go. But I really, really want to watch this movie with my dad because this is like the one thing we agree on is 007. Again, Daniel Craig is my favorite James Bond. And again, we got a stellar cast. You know, Ray Fiennes, Rami Malek. I mean, and the fact that another thing I love about these Daniel Craig James Bond movies is that they have continuity. Something that Pierce Brosnan and all the other Bonds, Sean Connery, none of those movies had continuity. This does, and this is like the bookend. This is the final chapter of Daniel Craig's Bond's saga. Mark, what do you got?
It's similar to, similar opinion to when we did our not a rapid review, when we did a rapid fire around this time last year, talking about No Time to Die. I'm not a huge James Bond fan. Like, you know what I mean? Like I haven't been, especially like with this iteration of James Bond, I have not watched every single movie. So I started out not being very excited for it, but after seeing like, a lot of the trailers and seeing the stunts and seeing that Rami Malek is going to be the villain, that's what got me on board. So while it's not in my top 5 or even my top 10, I will be seeing this for sure when it comes out. I am looking forward to it.
Oh, October can't get here soon enough. Please do not postpone this movie anymore. Like, I almost had that feeling like I will believe it when I'm in the theater, because if it gets postponed again, I'm gonna flip. Joe, any thoughts on No Time to Die?
You ready for your oh my God moment?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a James Bond movie since Pierce Brosnan.
Wow. You know what, Joe? I'm going to invite you over, and we're gonna go on the Daniel Craig James Bond marathon binge.
I mean, I think it peaked for me at Goldeneye, but I haven't seen the Daniel Craig one, so I can't really weigh in.
Oh my God, I'm telling you.
I mean, he's a good Bond for sure.
Yeah.
I like him, but to me, and like I said, I haven't watched every single Bond movie, but the ones that I have seen have not been as good. To me, like story-wise, have not been as good as some of the older Bond movies. That's just my personal feeling.
That's fair.
So you got to remember too that Goldeneye was the original first-person shooter.
Yeah, of course. I knew. Of course, you're following gaming, so you had to throw that in there. So yeah, so that's my number 1. So Joe, go ahead, give us your list.
Okay, before I go, I think you may have upset Paul Tackett because you didn't mention Shin Ultraman.
I'm not an Ultraman guy. I've never seen any of this. I know the influence of Subaraya, yes. I've never watched Ultraman. Not that I dislike it or anything. I will get to it eventually when I'm ready. Davis, if you're in here, I'm in the middle of Attack on Titan, so let me get Attack on Titan out of the way, and then when I'm ready to move on to other tokusatsu films and media, maybe I'll give Ultraman a chance. It's just, there's so much that's out there. I did see the pictures in the trailer for Shin Ultraman. I understand everybody's excitement for it. I'm just not there. But, you know, it's all good. All right. So,
all right. For my own honorable mention, I had to go with Venom Let There Be Carnage. It's just
like no reaction from
Oh man,
I may be in the
I did
minority
not
here.
like that trailer. I'm sorry, and I'm not too wild about the first one, and the trailer didn't really do it for me. Mark, what do you got?
I'm just interested to see if it holds up to
Right.
what the first one was. Plus, there's a rumor going around that it could be loosely tied to the Sony Spider-Man stuff. So
Right.
we'll see. All right, on to number 5 on my list is Halloween Kills.
Yep.
Cool.
So, I mean, I had to put at least one horror movie on my list. And Halloween, I've seen all of them, and I love every single iteration. Number 4, I think number 4 was the same for all of us. It's all Shang-Chi.
Wow. Unanimous decision.
Yeah, I think it was unanimous from us. Number 3, I had Spider-Man No Way Home.
All right.
So number 2 is going to be Dune for me. I couldn't put it at number 1 for the sheer fact that my favorite series has a reboot coming.
Yep. Go ahead and tell
my
them.
number 1 is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
Okay.
So
Okay.
And from what I've seen with the set pictures and everything, they're staying very true to the game with this one. So I am very interested to see if they break that Milla Jovovich curse.
Listen, Joe, I am with you. I will be there opening night with you. I will go see this movie with you. However, based on that, I got burned badly by Mortal Kombat. And I
Right.
should have listened to Mark. Because of how Mortal Kombat turned out, I'm not going into Resident Evil just to be let down. I'm going in with the lowest of expectations. Just saying, because I don't want to get burned. But, so I can't share the same passion for, but I will go with you. And then, Joe, if it's like absolutely great, and if it breaks the video game curse, then you have every right to go on the show and to my face and say, I told you so.
We'll see.
Well,
Scott
I will
Bannock
say this.
says nobody with Ghostbusters.
No, I'm not falling for it. That movie has, like, booty sauce written all over it. I'm sorry. Will it?
I think it might be
Yes,
good.
it'll probably be better than the female.
Yes, I was just going to say, it will be better than the 2016 version, but that ain't saying much. So
I don't know, man. Like, all right, so the trailer itself, not super impressive, but what I do like about it is that it's directed by Ivan Reitman's son, and I believe that he probably like gets the spirit of like the original Ghostbusters. Paul Rudd's in it, so that's a plus. And so it could be really good. Like, it's not super high on my list or anything, but I'm intrigued. Like, I do want to go see it.
I'll go see it. I'm just not expecting it to be good. That's all. And after I saw that clip, we already talked about this on another NerdCage live stream. When I saw that clip of like the miniature Stay Puft Marshmallow Men, like when I saw that clip, I'm like, oh god, here we go. So, and not to mention, like, the first one is such a timeless classic.
Right.
It's not gonna even come close to that. Even the second one is pretty good. Like, I don't see this one being. Do I see it being better in 2016? Yes. But do I see this being like a game changer or anything? No. I can't get excited for it. So, but I'll go see it. I'm gonna go see it. We'll cover the movie. We'll do our rapid reviews and so on and so forth. But I can't say I'm excited for it.
That's another
the
one.
trailers have not been doing it any favors.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you might be right. It might be like terrible, but I just have faith in it. Like, for some reason, like, I'm just like, well, you know, it's probably going to be one of those situations where whoever they hired to do the trailers just did a terrible job on it, and it doesn't give the vibe of the actual movie.
Yeah. So basically, another wait and see approach. All right. So, couple things I want to cover before we call it a night here, because we did pretty good on time. So there's some news and some clippings that we already covered. Dune, great trailer, but some tidbits that happened earlier in the week. We'll start with Blade. So, Marq, you can take the lead on this one. So Blade apparently has found a director. It's just funny that Marvel's been kind of quiet on this movie since they announced it. All we know, it's Mahershala Ali is taking over as Blade. It's going to be a whole new reboot, but we finally got a director. Marq, what are your thoughts on the Blade news?
So really, like, reading a little bit further into the situation, it's not really that they've selected a director. They have a front runner for a director, a guy named Hassam Tariq, and he's not very well known. Obviously, he's done a few movies since 2013, but they've all been smaller, independent movies. But Feige seems to really like his treatment and his approach towards rebooting Blade, which we don't have any indication of, like, any kind of plot outline or anything like that. But we know that Kevin Feige likes what he has to say about the story arc. And so he's in talks to take the helm, but nothing's been finalized yet. And that's about where we are with it.
God, I hope it's rated R. God, I hope it's rated R, and I hope Wesley Snipes has a cameo. Joe, any thoughts on the Blade reboot?
I agree with you. I want to see that cameo.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the chat right now. Ian in the chat is just like, yeah, a non-R rated Blade would be disrespectful. I agree. So
I don't know how you can do a non-R rated Blade.
You can easily do it, and I'll tell you why. You can easily do it, and I'll tell you why. So those MPA ratings, right? When we're talking about our ratings in terms of violence, they're talking about violence against human beings, right? So if Blade's actually fighting vampires and Nosferatus and like things like that, those are fictional creatures. So you can get as bloody as you want to with those. So if that's the case, the R rating doesn't matter aside from like the language.
That's,
you know what I mean? And I'm fine with him just dropping an F.
Blood and gore in the movie that.
What's that?
I always thought it was the amount of blood and gore in the movie that tipped it over the edge.
If it's blood and gore against a human being, because the idea is that you don't want children to get it in their mind, like basically to that you don't want to normalize violence against another person. But if you're talking about fictional characters, you know what I mean? Like then like characters that don't really exist, then you can do whatever you want to them.
Another thing too is I'm just thinking that Blade's gonna be part of like a multiverse, because how are they gonna explain that vampires all of a sudden appear in the MCU? So this is probably gonna be like a whole nother dimension. And maybe Doctor Strange, when that comes out, maybe they'll make some kind of reference to Blade or something. But who knows? It's really tricky territory, with Blade. I mean, and let's face it. I mean, say what you want about the third movie, but they got big shoes to fill. Those first two Blade movies still hold up, man. Just saying.
Blade 2 is like one of the unsung heroes of like comic book movies, in my opinion.
I think
it doesn't get enough love. It's a great movie though.
Yeah.
I think if Marvel's going to go with the whole multiverse thing, I think they should send all the dark characters to like one universe, like Ghost Rider, Blade.
Yeah, do the Marvel Knights thing.
Yeah, Punisher.
Absolutely, I would love that, man.
100%.
Like Hulu was gonna do a whole like Marvel Knights like franchise basically, where they were gonna have Ghost Rider and Hellstrom, and like some of the other like Marvel Knights characters and stuff like that. And it was going to be a dark universe. Yeah. And Feige put the kibosh on it. And maybe the reason why he's doing that is because maybe he's going to roll some of that into the MCU. It would be nice if he did that. But I'm with you, Joe. I would rather see that almost like its own thing. Like don't have those characters necessarily interact with like the Avengers and stuff,
Yeah, because that would be really tough to do anyway.
Yeah, it would.
And then finally, a couple bits of DC news here. We'll go through it real quick. So the Flash, there's pictures of the Batmobile in the Batcave. And then there's two versions of Ezra Miller I'm gonna say this. I'm excited to see Michael Keaton back. Don't get me wrong. I'm just kind of worried that, like, is this really a Flash movie, or is this like a Flash and Batman movie? Like, I don't know. I almost want to say, like, DC's, they know that their bread and butter is Batman, and I feel like they're kind of like, well, how are we gonna let Flash gonna carry a movie on his own? We'll throw Batman in there. But hey, that's just my thought. I hope it's good, but it was cool seeing. I mean, this movie's been cursed too. This movie's postponed so many times, and different writers, different directors, and so on and so forth. But I was a little, like, giddy when I saw the Batmobile. So, Mark, what do you got on the Flash photos?
I didn't see the Flash photos, so I have no real opinion on that. But I'm skeptical on the whole Flash thing. The only thing that really excites me is Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. And up to this point, up until recently, I thought he was just going to make like a very short kind of cameo, but it's sort of been coming out that, like, it's actually going to be like a very substantial role.
Yeah.
Like, literally supposed to be as substantial as what's his name in Indiana Jones? Sean Connery in Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So he's like supposed to like play sort of like a mentor. You know what I mean? Like basically play the mentor role. And I'm interested in that, and solely that. So I don't have a lot of faith in the movie other than that, simply because the DCEU has burned me so many times. That's just my feeling on it.
Okay,
and I want to be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but I just have a feeling that it's not going to be good.
I'll just say this, Mark, if you want to look at the stream, though, but you can see the photos of the Batmobile. It is the Tim Burton Batmobile. It's an updated version, but it's certainly the 1989 Batmobile updated. So this is definitely confirmation that this is Tim Burton's Batman in that same continuity. This is all the confirmation you need. That's
cool.
I mean, it's not like Michael Keaton's playing another version. No, this is definitely the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton Batman for a fact.
Right. Cool.
So, and then on to one last bit of DC news is Black Adam has wrapped filming. This is the movie I'm most excited for 2022. I cannot wait. I feel like this will be a game changer for the DCEU. Dwayne Johnson's been very vocal about that. He wants this to be a dark movie like the Snyderverse intended. So I'm kind of glad, like, if Black Adam's like going back to that dark, gritty, Zack Snyderverse atmosphere. I'm excited. I'm more excited for this than I am the Pattinson Batman. This is my most anticipated movie 2022. And I cannot wait for that trailer to drop. I have utmost faith in Dwayne Johnson. This was the role he was born to play. And I'm excited for Shazam too, but I'm way more excited for this. What are your thoughts on Black Adam? And man, did they finish filming fast.
Well, I mean, I love everything that The Rock is in anyway. You know what I mean? So, like, I think that it's going to be good regardless. I have like total faith in it. This is something that they've been kind of working on for like 10 years or something like that, like to get this movie made. And, not only is it exciting to see the Black Adam character in this movie, but we're going to get the Justice Society. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a period piece. It's going to be set in the past. We're going to get Hawkman, Atom Smasher, like Dr. Fate.
Pierce Brosnan, Dr. Fate.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, perfect casting there, you know what I mean? So I think that this one probably above a lot of other DC properties probably intrigues me the most, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, Joe, any thoughts on Black Adam?
I am patiently waiting for it. I mean, The Rock is in a lot of stuff, but I really have not seen a movie of his that I don't like. So,
not to mention, we haven't seen The Rock play a bad guy since Doom, and that movie sucked.
Wait, I take that back. There is one movie I don't like.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that The Rock hasn't played a bad guy in 2 decades, basically.
Yeah,
so,
a long time.
Yeah. And he's fully on board. He's embracing the role. He's been promoting it on his Instagram, his Twitter. And I have a feeling that we're going to see more of Black Adam, not just in his movie, but in Shazam. But I think he's going to be appearing in a lot of DCEU movies that we're unaware of. I think Black Adam's going to be prominent moving forward in the DCEU. So that's all I got. I cannot wait. And yeah, that's all.
Shay has a question in the chat.
Go for it.
He wants to know if we have any excitement for Morbius.
Yes, I'm more excited for Morbius than Venom 2.
Yeah, out of any of the Sony properties, I would say Morbius is probably the only one that I'm really stoked on.
Yeah, good one. So guys, we got our whole show in. So this was fantastic. So Mark, I know you got some stuff to promote and plug in. I know we got some stuff baking in the oven, so go ahead.
Yeah, so yesterday we dropped a Loki recap. So anybody that has been watching the Disney Plus Loki series, Will from Wild Band and I did a spoiler recap of that. So that's currently up. We also have our Terminator video that we dropped recently, and we have Aliens on the way, so stay tuned for
that. Aliens is baking in the oven. I cannot wait. That was a great recording. I have a feeling you guys are going to love it. And by the way, thank you to all of those who've watched our Terminator look back, because I think it's like one of our most watched look backs we've had in a while. So thank you so much for everyone who's been watching our Terminator look back, and of course our Black Widow videos, and of course our Loki video. Thank you so damn much to everybody. And yes, we're on the Facebook discussion group. Everyone's welcome to join. Everyone's allowed to post anything they want. If they got any material they want to post or anything they want to share, they can. We just ask no spoilers, no politics, but all are welcome in the NerdCage Live discussion group. And of course, the Instagram and the TikTok has just dropped today. The links are in the description below. We will definitely be posting some material there. And of course, next week is the Scott Pilgrim versus the World Watch Party. Man, this is going to be our biggest roster we've ever had. We got the guys from Real Talk. We got Alexander DeSwell. We got the Reroll It podcast. We got Matthew Farden coming back. We got... oh my God, I can't remember. The roster's so big. I mean, yeah. Titan Doji.
It's an all-star cast.
We got a stack cast. So yes. So next week. Now remember, we're starting at 9 o'clock because we got friends in the West Coast. So we're gonna start this at 9 o'clock next week. So Scott Pilgrim versus the World Watch Party will be next week. We hope to see everybody there. And of course, in a couple weeks after that, on the 19th, will be the Suicide Squad Watch Party. Again, we're gonna be doing that at 9 o'clock. On the 19th of August, so be there for that. We're all excited for Suicide Squad 2. You know, we're gonna cover that movie as well. And again, one last time, I will be guesting on the Shin Godzilla Watch Party on Yoko Higuchi's channel. That will be at 9 o'clock on the 28th, Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that. I'm very much looking forward to chopping up with Yoko and all of our friends, and the fact that I get to watch the movie with him, and he was a production assistant on the movie. So that would be a very fun and unique perspective. Please be there for that. It will be a blast. So, yes. That's basically all we got. Joe, is there anything else you want to plug in or anything that we forgot to mention?
Do you want to mention our next rapper review now that I've lightly teased it on our discussion group?
Yes. So, yeah, it's actually going to be dropping on TikTok, so go ahead.
All right, our next rapper review is going to be on Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, the new Netflix series.
So, yes, check that out, and we also will be dropping the the one that's on TikTok is going to be a very short 30-second version. For the bigger version, we'll be dropping that later tonight. So keep a lookout for that, and of course, keep a lookout for the Aliens 35th anniversary look back. That was a fantastic video, so keep tuned for that. So that's all I got. So everybody in the chat here, Paul, Ian, Derek from Bonus Commentary, the Gorgiro Shay Smithers, Oliver, Betty Rage, everybody who's in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. It was fun talking Emmys and talking anticipated films. We hope to see you next week at the Scott Pilgrim watch party. And of course, to our moderator Joe, thanks for all you do. We love having you here, keeping everybody in line. And Marq, awesome edits, man. So Marq did a lot of editing. So all the editing, the main editing you see there on those lookbacks, it's all Marq. So
thank you.
Props to you, Marq. Thanks for that. And if Cindy, if you are here, thank you for helping us with the Instagram and TikTok, because we had no clue on how those platforms work. So thank you very much. So that being said, everybody, we please ask you to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and spread that shit like Super SO.D USA from Louisville to Syracuse to all of our friends and fans around the world at NerdCage Live. As always, enjoy life, stay safe, and good night.
Sayonara.
Good night.
NerdCage Nation, are you ready for round number 7? What better movie that bleeds everything nerd culture than the 2010 cult classic Scott Pilgrim versus the World on Thursday, July 29th, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. in the West. So joining the NerdCage crew you know and love, including Mark Withers, myself, Joe, the Trollhammer, and voice actor extraordinaire Matthew Farden, we got a lineup louder than a sex bomb. Coming at you fast, Titan Goji from the Toku Titan cast. Once again, on the attack is Big Jack. From the depth of nerd hell comes Alex the Swell. More powerful than General Zod comes Nick and Laura from the Review Roulette Pod. And walking the movie walk, once again, Wes, Gabe, and Tommy from Real Talk.
Good day for a swell battle. And begin!
Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
NerdCage Nation, at long last, the streaming blockbuster hype continues once again as NerdCage Live gears up for another kick-ass watch party as we go into battle once again for the James Gunn Suicide Squad watch party on Thursday, August 19th, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Central and 6 p.m. in the West. And we have assembled a Task Force X squad of our own. We got NerdCage host Mark Withers, filmmaker extraordinaire Yoko Higuchi, the manga man himself, Brian from Monstrosities, Toku Titan cast leader Titan Goji brings the ruckus, voice actor supreme Matthew Farden, Chicago's finest Dion McGill of Off the Beaten Podcast, the well-traveled Wild Band, and the king and queen of watch parties, Nick and Laura of the Review Roulette Podcast. The squad has been assembled. Thursday, August 19th. Be there.
Ooh, trying to get out of the NerdCage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live!